Hey guys. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm the Housewife Historian, and we are here to talk the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I'm going to be talking a little bit in code today because if you watch my channel and you watch my live, yes.
Is the plane going down? Are we gonna die? Why are you saying I'm sorry?
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm the Housewife Historian. You can call me Lindsay, and today we're talking Real Housewives of New Jersey. I'm going to finish doing my hair while I'm talking to you guys this morning because I have to go to my other job. So I guess you guys are just going to be getting ready with me this morning because I want to talk about the Real Housewives of New Jersey. And did you guys watch last night's episode? Please make sure that you're commenting. This is obviously a disclaimer. Hi, Arties. Hi, Camille. So glad you could make it. We have to talk about the Real Housewives of New Jersey. So this is a disclaimer. We are going to be talking about last night's episode. So if you didn't watch it, then this video might not be for you today. If you did, make sure you guys hit the like button. It's a great way to just help my channel, and make sure you're commenting your thoughts, subscribe, turn your notifications on, and let's get into this. Okay. So, I guess, well, let's talk a little bit about last night's episode. I want to know what you guys thought. Maybe just rate it on a grading scale from like an A to F grading scale, like you did in school. First of all, a lot of people coming for Dolores in the comments on Twitter and even Instagram. I'm starting to see people saying like, what is her storyline? I'm getting, tired. I'm not that interested in her and Polly. And I want to know everyone's opinion about Dolores and her full-time position on the show. Pronounced artist. Thank you so much. I appreciate you telling me that. So Dolores and Polly are dating, right? And then all of a sudden we have Frank, who no longer really has a spot on the show as much because really Frank was Dolores's plus one. We are now meeting Brittany, who is Frank's girlfriend. Please comment and let me know what you guys think about her. Do you guys want to see more of Frank's girlfriend? Now, she is actually friends with Danielle and Rachel. I think more so Rachel. They actually, I think, met Frank because he was their trainer. So Frank was actually training Brittany and Rachel for like the heavyweight competitions before Rachel was on the Housewives and before Brittany started dating him. Now, she's very pretty. We saw her in last night's episode. She had the blonde hair. A lot of people always saying they want to see Dolores and Frank back together. So I want to know everyone's comments. Because how would you feel if you were Frank's girlfriend and everyone kept saying that he needed to get back with his ex? Like, oh, get back with Dolores. You guys are a great couple, yada, yada, yada. Then when Frank did his confessional, did you guys hear him say that his biggest regret, he's not even saying like his biggest mistake. He's saying his biggest regret in life was not being a good husband to Dolores. A little bit of recap here. We know that actually Dolores got married when she was pregnant with Frankie. I think she was like 8 months pregnant when her and Frank ended up getting divorced. Allegedly he loved boats and hoes and he was gallivanting around New Jersey. He was an attorney. He made good money. He was a very good looking man. And allegedly that's when they got divorced. So that's a really long time. When we first met Dolores, I thought that her and Frank had gotten divorced like 10 years ago, not like 25 years ago. So, I just want to know what your thoughts are on that. Do you think that Frank has a valid reason to feel upset or frustrated about their family dynamic changing and about Polly? I think Dolores makes great points that she deserves to be happy now too. But do you guys think that Polly is the man for Dolores? Joan says, hello. I think it's great that Dolores and Frank get along as well as their plus ones. I think Frank has always loved Dolores and always will. I think so too. And you know, guys, Frank is like such a good-hearted person. If you guys are new to my channel, you may not know this, but I helped with a missing child case out of New Jersey, and Frank ended up coming on and helping with the missing persons and helping the family, and he wanted to stay anonymous. This was like probably over a year ago, but without saying like everything that he did, he was like on board and helping as soon as he was asked, and he had no holdbacks in doing anything that he could to help the family, help the mother. And I was really impressed by his gratitude, and I don't even know, like he was so engaging, and he got some of the other cast to help as well with the missing child's case out of New Jersey. So a lot of love for Frank and Dolores and Teresa and Louie. And Jennifer and Bill, they do seem to be into charity work. We see Louie and Teresa, they do a lot of things for autistic children, especially locally. They have like marathons and such. And then we know that Jennifer, I think, even may or may not have donated her check that she made from the wedding. So I think her and Bill give a lot. They do a lot of donations as well. But that's the one thing I wanted to point out about Dolores was, even though she's holding a full-time position and we may not all love her storyline or be completely interested or think that she could just pick it up a little bit, the one thing she does bring us is charity. She does charity. She does do charity. She does charity with the domestic violence women's shelter. She's shown that on the show. And then she also does this charitable event every year. So I do give her kudos for that. Now, do you guys think that the reason Polly wasn't there was because of the heart surgery the next day? That seemed a little bit off to me, because if you're having surgery the next day, I don't know. That just seemed weird to me. Let's get into a little bit of tea too, guys. So allegedly, now I'm hearing some things about Danielle the newbie. So don't get mad at me when I tell you what I'm hearing. I can't help it, right? So basically, I had a source tell me that the ladies are not feeling Danielle. And I'm starting to see a little bit of cracks here and there, because I feel like originally we thought Danielle was going to come on the show and she was coming on as Teresa's uh ally, and that she was going to be very vocal about it. We were all going to know she was team Teresa, and we haven't really seen that from her yet. I've seen more of her feeling like she wants everyone to like her. She had everyone at the house. She just wants to be accepted into the social circle, and it doesn't seem to really matter whose team accepts her. She just really wants to be, liked. And I could tell that when she hosted the cheese party. Now, allegedly, she's trying, one, too hard, and two, I guess she held some kind of like, okay, first of all, are you guys following her on Instagram? I know a lot of my subscribers, sometimes they're not on Instagram or TikTok or Twitter, like different platforms. So I try to tell you guys what's going on all of those platforms, so you don't have to go to all of them to find out. Well, I guess okay, so you know how she held the cheese party event for filming? I guess she did another one of those, and she charged people $150 and did it like a meet and greet. Like a mozzarella meet and greet with all the cheese that you can eat for $150. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that housewives should be doing deals on the side, meet and greets? Like, what do you think about that? Is Danielle too new of a housewife to be trying to do meet and greets and make money off of appearances? Please let me know what you guys think about that. So yes, allegedly she had a cheese party, a meet and greet cheese party where she charged people $150, right? So then also we had the fact that the ladies feel like she's just trying to get in anywhere that she is fitting in. And then also there were issues allegedly with the what is the word I'm looking for. Well, she just did a really big fundraiser. You guys know that, right? Did you see it? It had Dolores and everyone was there and they were all on stage. And there have been some discrepancies about if she may or may not have gotten a little bit of money for that. Blueberry says, yeah, I don't know about the $150 cheese party, laughing my ass off. Yeah, it's a little bit crazy. So the charity, she basically paid herself from the money that was donated and collected for the charity. Yeah. She paid for the spinning camera thing. Do you guys remember that? The photographer. Um, you guys know what I'm talking about, the spinning photographer where you like get on it and it like spins and takes pictures. Real Housewives of Miami. It's like a big thing that they're doing. It's sort of like what they did at BravoCon with the camera. But this one's a little bit different. And so now they have like photo booths that have the spinning camera that they bring to parties, right? So allegedly, according to my source, she paid for the spinning camera, right? And then collected charity money for it too. And reimbursed herself, I guess, for the spinning camera, if you will. So typically in those types of situations, if you are throwing an event and there's extra things like that, it wouldn't be terrible for the person that's hosting the party to take that maybe just out of their donation or just take it out of pocket for a couple of $100s. I'm sure that the camera people gave her a discounted rate for doing the party. We see this all the time with the vendors. My source said likely she didn't even pay for the hall that the little girl's birthday party was thrown in. A lot of people saying that getting the Melissa Gorga vibe, right? Where we're housewife or labeled housewife and we're going to get as much as we can get for free, for discounted, for vendors, whatever the case may be, right? That this is pretty crazy though. And allegedly this all has happened and the ladies, like they are saying she's thirsty, she wants everything for free. Yeah. I guess the meet and greet, not a lot of people showed up to it. But again, $150, I feel like is a steep price to pay to meet a housewife her first season. $150? That's like a ticket to Bravo, isn't it? I mean, I'm just saying. I guess they're just really not appreciating her. Yeah, and that she paid for herself out of the appearance at the charity, allegedly. So that's the tea I have on her. You guys let me know. If people are willing to pay $150 and feel like they got their money's worth, I don't see the problem. For sure, if people definitely if they feel like they wanted to spend the money and they got their money's worth, that's nothing wrong with that at all. I just think that it's strange to me if you're a first time housewife to be holding a meet and greet and charging people $150. That's a steep price, I think, even for like an established housewife, considering they're just, they're reality stars. You could literally run into them anywhere. I think $150 is a lot for an event for a first season housewife. If it was like an OG, an event where we had more than just one housewife, that might sound a little bit more reasonable. I just, in my opinion, think that it looks thirsty, like the girls said. And again, you're supposed to be elevated as a housewife. That's why you're a housewife. So typically, we don't want to see our housewives out here like hustling up appearances for cash, because we want you to already have it. That's just my opinion. And then I also, of course, reviewed the episode last night, and I want to talk to you guys about that as well. Thank you so much, artists. Yes, everyone, please hit the like button. I'm going to keep you guys posted on Danielle, okay? But also remember that she has a brother that she doesn't speak to. In the time of falling out with her brother, the brother got married. The brother and new sister-in-law did not include Danielle or her family, and they have not allegedly spoken. Now, yesterday I showed with you guys on my live a picture of what Danielle's brother and sister-in-law look like. Now, the rumors that we're hearing about this situation are that they do not want anything to do with the cameras. They don't want anything to do with Bravo. They don't want anything to do with the press. And allegedly, the sister-in-law has taken all of her social media down and all of her photos down in order to avoid people in their business. Allegedly, they're pissed off that Danielle even brought that to the cameras. They did not want to be a part of the storyline. They did not want to be on camera, and they didn't want all of this mess aired on the Real Housewives of New Jersey. Okay. Allegedly, the sister in law is now pissed off, but again, does not want to be part of the series. We saw Danielle on Watch What Happens Live last night. Did any of you guys watch? And how also did you feel about her sitting second chair? Typically, when we have housewives that are coming on the Watch What Happens Live after the episode airs, they don't sit second chair. I've told you guys this before. You guys can argue me all you want, but chair seating is status per Andy Cohen and Bravo execs, whether they admit it or not. It is a show of status, right? First chair, second chair, and then of course reunion seats. So I think that said a lot that Andy Cohen sat her second chair for Watch What Happens Live after the episode aired, right? Um, a couple of other things we know about Danielle. We know that her and her husband were on HGTV. I think that's like her house is very nice. It's very modern. Whenever she took us through it, when she had the mozzarella party, and then I found out she was on HGTV, and that made sense because I was like, like you have designers and people helping you remodel your house. It's not just when I'm remodeling, it's just my expertise. So she would have had like the expertise of HGTV. Okay, the second chair highlighted her dress and train. Okay, I love that. I love that. Okay, let's talk a little bit about that episode. Again, guys, if you don't mind just commenting and grading it on a grading scale of A to F, I would love to know what you guys think. What are you feeling about Teresa, the girls, the baseball party, Joe and Melissa and the kids? I felt like I could feel the tension in that locker room. Okay. I feel like Marge was pissed. Okay. She was pissed about Jennifer and Teresa. Like, you could see it written all over her face. Smitty Girl says a little tacky with a meet and greet. Thank you. That's the word I'm looking for. A little tacky. Feel the tension in that locker room like a mile away, I thought. I don't know if producers purposely timed that or if they cut it to make it look like everyone arrived before Jennifer and Teresa. And in those moments or minutes before everyone arriving, they were pretty much giving Margaret the lowdown that Teresa and Jennifer had told the other girls, hey, Margaret is better your friend than your enemy. And there's nothing wrong with saying that, guys, because let us not forget that Jackie Goldschneider said the same exact thing last year when they were at that excursion where they were tied to the trees and doing the team training. If you guys remember, Jackie and Dolores were like tied together or tied to a tree, and they were talking about Margaret, and they said she's better your friend than your enemy. 100% agree with that. But you can tell that Margaret is fuming. There is steam coming out of her ears as the ladies are telling her this, right? Danielle did a great job, I thought, though, of letting Margaret know that she likes Jennifer. She is friends with them, and it makes her uncomfortable to think that Margaret would be going and digging around in her past to try to dig something up on her to have some dirt on her, right? Danielle basically kind of said that to Margaret. And putting it that way, it definitely sounds messed up, right? But allegedly, Margaret has dirt on all of the ladies, and that's why they don't turn on Margaret. Jennifer said that in her confessional, and I want to tell you guys what I heard. We always wondered Dolores. Why does Dolores not say anything? I think part of the reason is Dolores and Frank like owned a lot of gyms and like wellness centers and like spas, and I think a couple of them might have been kind of sketchy. That's it, literally. That is literally it. I think that she could have on Dolores, except for the fact that Dolores probably told Margaret about Jennifer's affair. What do you guys think about that? I'm thinking that Margaret knew about Bill's affair and knew all of the details about how it was the secretary or the office manager, all of those details. I don't know. I just feel like maybe Dolores ran those back to Margaret, and that's how Margaret knew everything about Jennifer. And that maybe that's where some of this is coming from with Dolores and Jennifer. And maybe this is why there's so much tension between Dolores and Jennifer can't seem to pinpoint what it really is and how she really feels about Dolores, because I think that she internally knows that Dolores probably told Margaret everything. Now, then we have the Gorgas and the Judases. I thought they all shared a really sweet moment when they were looking at the calendar. And if you guys noticed, I know. Thank you, Camille. Yes, yes, good tea. Let's just break this one more time just so everyone is hearing us, right? Margaret has something on everyone, right? We know this already. Jennifer is sensing betrayal and she's not quite sure what it is, and she's sensing it from Dolores because here's the thing. Yes, Margaret may have heard the rumors about Jennifer and Bill or Bill's affair or whatever the case may be. Yes, New Jersey is small and the webs we weave, right? They're all connected. However, Margaret knew a lot of details. She had them pinged, okay? And it's likely that Jennifer had confided in Dolores because they were friends for a long time. And Dolores took those rumors to Margaret. And then when Margaret spilled everything to Jennifer, Jennifer internally knows that Dolores was the one that told her. On Watch What Happens last night, she said Dolores is my girl. I don't know. I'm just saying what I am sensing myself. I loved the moment with the Judices and the Gorgas looking at the calendar. And I wanted to point out the fact that if you guys notice, it started with Melissa and Teresa both looking at the calendar together, showing their families, their kids, their husbands. Let's play nice together. We're family, right? And then they all sort of came together in this really sweet moment. And we're looking and laughing and pointing at the calendar. And I thought that was a really great moment. I think you can definitely sense the tension between Gia and Melissa. I hate to say that, but you can. And there were a couple of times I thought production really caught Melissa giving Gia like a shitty ass face. Did you guys catch any of that? Um, the baseball game, again, a super cute, super fun episode. Not a lot of drama. We see Jen Fessler. She goes to visit Margaret. She even tells Margaret, like, you need to calm the F down, right? And Margaret volleys it back and says, well, did you hear what Jennifer was saying about me? And Margaret's friend Jen Fessler says, yes, but she's not my concern. My concern is you, and you are a train wreck. Like, you can tell she's like pissed. She is pissed. Now I get why Dolores was a cold ice cube when Jennifer cried on the floor during the exercise scene last season. Dolores can't empathize with something she played a hand in. I completely agree, especially considering the fact that Dolores is open about the fact that Frank cheated and she was pregnant and they ended up getting divorced, and she still named Frankie after his dad. Picture that, ladies. Be 8 months pregnant and your husband doing some hanky panky shit and you have a boy. You get divorced while you're pregnant and you still name that boy after his dad. Like, that's a good woman, right? So I agree with you. Why was there should have been some sort of empathy or compassion, because Dolores has dealt with the same exact thing in her life. Hate Marge, poor Jen. Bill thought therapist was going to side with him. Bill looked miserable during that session because I think Bill's used to being the smartest person in the room. We have to remember the man is a doctor. Doctors carry themselves a little bit differently than the rest of us because oftentimes they think that they're the smartest person in the room. And when they're at work and their patients, everyone, goes by the doctor. So I think that sometimes Bill has a hard time with Jennifer. Yes, 100%. Do they need therapy? 100%. I told you guys in one of my other videos, people were like, kind of upset with me that I was saying that Jennifer looks like she's dealing with a lot. Like, she doesn't look bad. She looks amazing. She's beautiful, but I feel like I can just see that she's still dealing with, she was in fight or flight mode last season when all of this came out of nowhere. She had to deal with telling her 5 children, friends and family, and then watch it all happen when she watched the whole season. And so now this season, her body isn't in fight or flight mode, so she's probably recovering from last year. Also, guys, what about the moment with Olivia and her saying that she wanted to be a love therapist? Did that not break your freaking heart? I hope the situation with Bill and Jennifer doesn't destroy their marriage and family. Me either, Smitty girl. I agree with you. That therapist and Jen hit the bank together. You know it. LOL. I am kidding. I think she's okay with Bill now, and the Access Hollywood interview she did last week. I will have to check that out. I think that her and Bill will be amazing. I think that actually their issues aren't even about the affair. If you guys are like paying like, attention to what Jennifer's saying like, he leaves me at home to run this household, to run these 5 kids while he is at work 24/7. The man comes home, and instead of coming in the house, he goes to the pool house. First of all, I've already had this war with minds. Okay, if you want to sit in your car and scroll on your phone, or smoke a cigar or smoke a cigarette or whatever the hell you do when you get off work, go pull in a gas station, go drive around the block, go to a parking garage, go to a car wash. Don't come home and sit in our driveway and do it. When you get home, you got kids, your kids see you're home, they're out the window, they want to see you. Mom's like, hey, I've been at home with these kids all day long. Like, I just need 10 minutes. Like, get your ass in this house. I would be pissed too if my husband came home and went to the pool house and didn't come in and say, hey, does anyone need anything before I go to the pool house for 3 hours? Like, everyone needs to decompress. You have a high stress job, completely reasonable, but you have to be reasonable as well. And so I think that their issues are not necessarily about the affair, but the affair has brought them to therapy, which is going to help everything, because they're wonderful people. They have a beautiful family. They are hurting or wanting for nothing. They all have their health. They basically have everything that they need. All they have to do is get along. So go to therapy. Go to therapy twice a week. Jen needs a therapist by herself. She should be seeing somebody by herself. Bill should be seeing somebody by himself. And then they should come together and do a family therapy. That's my opinion. I'm practically a doctor. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I'm practically a doctor. Being a mom is absolutely a full-time job, and Jennifer has 5 kids, so she's running this house, running 5 kids, taking care of everything. And then Bill doesn't come in to even help. He comes in after everything is done at the end of the night to basically inspect everything, and then he relays his concerns or complaints to Jennifer on her parenting or her decision making, or she's spoiling them, or she's doing this, or she's doing that. And so it's like, you're not helping, but he's coming in and criticizing the job that she's doing, even though he's not giving her a hand to help her with that job. So I think they'll work it all out in therapy. I don't think that they have anything that any other couple doesn't deal with. Jennifer doesn't have any complaints that any other wife or mother doesn't have. Okay, like, she doesn't. And I think that it makes her so much more relatable, and we're really seeing her run her household. I don't see anyone helping. Usually they will include the nanny or the maid if they're there filming. You guys see that all the time in the other franchises. Bravo loves to show us that they employ people, but we don't see that at Jennifer's house. We see Jennifer hands on. We see her kids cleaning. She's giving the kids chores. I think she's setting a really great example, and nobody really seems to be acknowledging that. And I think that's a little messed up, because we don't always see that in the franchise. Normally we see little spoiled brats buying, all kinds of shit off the internet on their mom's credit card. And we see her with her kids, teaching them how to do chores, paying them, they're cleaning, they're doing shit. I mean, like, she's killing it. So I think we need to give her a little bit of credit, because she is showing us what a housewife is. She's mothering her kids amazing. Like, Hello? That's like when Teresa's kids, they were taking care of the house. When Teresa went away, when Joe went away, you don't have 4 kids in a house and not have the kids being hands on. Teresa's house was huge. Could you imagine? She said when they first moved there, like they didn't have a housekeeper. So you like gotta, if you don't have staff and you got 4 kids, the 4 kids are gonna be helping, are gonna be living in a dirt ball or something. I don't know. Like, anyways, guys, that is my opinion on Jennifer Bill. I think they're going to be great. They're going to work it out. I just think it's really terrible. And I think that Jennifer hit it right on the head when she says that Margaret has no regard, no respect for her family, for her kids, for anything, because she just continues to try to put Jennifer and Bill on blast. And I agree with her at this point. Like, I do agree. Jennifer's children have been affected, whether Bravo wants to show it or not. Okay. They've been affected, good, bad, ugly, whatever it is. Someone's been affected. And so Margaret comes for people so strongly that it is alleged that even Bravo execs told her to lay the F off of Louis because they wanted to seal the wedding deal with Teresa and Louis, and shit was so hot in the press with these ex-girlfriends and all this BS that was going around that Bravo execs told Margaret she had to knock it the F off, cut it out. It's too much. And so allegedly, that's why some of that stuff in the press slowed down and stopped, was because producers told Margaret to stop. Yes, Lindsay, that's why I don't get why people give Trey grief either. She's a brilliant mother. Melissa has always had a nanny. Yeah, I mean, Teresa and Joe are hands-on parents. Anyone that goes back and watches the Real Housewives of New Jersey from the beginning will see that. They are hands-on family, old school Italian. You will see that from the first couple of episodes. You will see Teresa's parents. You will see Joe Giudice's parents. You will see them in the garage, the whole family, all of them making tomato sauce. Like, the family was always around. Teresa's parents were living there with them. And Teresa was a family, and Joe Giudice says what an amazing mother she is. Clearly, she's an amazing mother. Look at her children. Gia is she's helping with an advocacy attorney to help other people that are being basically sent out of the country, just like her dad was. So there's not a lot of young women that have that kind of passion or ambition, and you got to recognize it. So her kids are doing great. Margaret is a dirty player. Just bring back Danielle Staub and get it done with. Bravo. That's funny. I mean, even look at what she did to Danielle, the things that she said to Danielle, even throwing Danielle's husband, her then husband, into the pool at Jennifer's house. Like, is this woman taking it too far? I don't know. You guys let me know what you think, but that's my opinion. I think she needs to leave Jennifer alone, find a new target, find something else to do, find another storyline to push, but leave Jennifer alone. Give her a season to freaking regroup. Come on. That's just my opinion. What do you guys think about Jen Fessler? Some people are saying they love her. They think that her comic relief, well, actually it was Melissa that said her comic relief is so amazing. I'm kind of like, she's all right. I mean, she's Margaret's friend. She's sensible, but she's still Margaret's friend. So how much more, can we really ask for? I left hold on, let me find my note because I took notes for this episode. Oh, so we talked about Livia, and then the locker room, Dolores' charity, Brittany. You guys didn't really say what you were feeling about Brittany, if you guys were really feeling her or not. Frank's girlfriend. Do you guys want to see more of her? I think that the dynamic is supposed to be like Frank, Rachel, and Danielle, but I don't think Danielle really runs with Rachel and Brittany all like that. So it'll be interesting to see if Rachel is going to bring Danielle onto the show, if Rachel is going to bring Brittany, who is Frank's girlfriend, onto the show to film with her, because she's her best friend and she is Frank's girlfriend. So if Frank's on the show and your best friend's on the show, I'm sure that we're going to be seeing Brittany, right, guys? Allegedly, she's a really sweet girl, but the internet is a very mean place, and she just isn't up for the press and the job of dealing with the internet. So I understand. Bravo ruined Danielle's life. I understand. Then also Polly, Frank. Yeah. I think that Louis' son, guys. I loved Louis' son. He caught the ball in the episode. I thought that was so sweet. I loved that moment for him. Love to see Joe Gorga. He was, talking to Louis' son and chatting it up with him. Really like to see that. Saw Teresa hug her nephew Joey. It's so funny, guys. I'm gonna tell you guys this real quick. Did you hear about like the sneaky thing producers did about Joey's son? Whenever because there were like rumors about Melissa and some other guy, and basically the Monique Samuel rumor just apply it to Melissa. So when they showed Joey on last night's episode, they put Melissa's son instead of Melissa and Joe's son, and they caught it. Of course, it's circulating on the internet. Also, guys, don't forget to check out my last video. I put a couple of sneak peek exclusive photos. One is of Danielle's brother and sister-in-law. But like I said, the sister-in-law scrubbed the internet, so you're not going to really find that photo anywhere. If you're interested in Danielle's brother and their feud and the sister-in-law, or at least what they look like, then check out my last video or my Instagram, HW Historian. And then I also included a photo of Melissa and the lover boy and Margaret from 2018, because again, those photos being scrubbed from the internet. I love the moment with the Gorgas and the Giudice family together, and that's how it should be. I loved it. I loved it as well. And I thought it really showed a great example of Melissa and Teresa coming together and showing their family, like, it's okay. Let's be nice to each other. Let's love each other, at least for today. Only for today. Only for today. I also, what else did I want to say about? Oh, I also posted a photo, like I said, from 2018 of Melissa, the lover boy, and Margaret. Again, those photos being scrubbed from the internet. I feel like producers want to tell us the rumor, but they're sort of not telling us the rumor, but they sort of are, because they continually bring up Melissa and the ball player comment. How many times did we hear that last night? So I feel like producers don't want to come out and say, hey, Margaret's ex-best friend Laura Lee Jensen is saying that Melissa cheated on her husband with this man over here. But they're saying it without saying it, because they know what's going around in the blogs and they know what all of the rumors are, which of course is that Melissa was getting it on with this other guy. So I shared a photo with you guys from 2018. Again, Melissa, Margaret, and Loverboy. He has since gotten married. He's a very handsome young man. I call him PYT, pretty young thing. Yeah, so I think producers are telling us without telling us what the rumor and what's going on behind the scenes. They don't want to break the fourth wall with production, yada, yada, yada. But I think that is essentially what all of the ladies are talking about behind the scenes, is Margaret's ex-best friend turning on her and telling Teresa and Jennifer that Melissa was having extracurricular activities with this man, right? Because Margaret made a big mistake. Number one, she put Teresa and Jennifer on blast for meeting with her ex-best friend, right? So if nobody knew that they had met with Laura Lee Jensen, they couldn't have easily talked about the rumor about Teresa. But because Margaret outed Jennifer and Teresa, like, oh, you went and met with my best ex friend, they were like, yeah, we did. And this is what she said. Right? Because I'm sure that they initially didn't want everyone to know that they had met with Laura Lee Jensen, just because, they didn't want to look bad, probably. But since Margaret outed them, they were like, okay, yeah, we did. And so what? And this is what she said. And so now we have Melissa, who had shared her deepest secrets with Margaret, who Margaret couldn't hold those secrets in. She just couldn't. And she knew she couldn't tell her husband, because her husband and Joe Gorga are like this, right? So she couldn't tell her husband what was transpiring between Melissa and the publicist's best friend, PYT, pretty young thing, the young gentleman. So she told her best friend because she couldn't hold it in. Joe and Melissa using their kids as a tool to hurt Teresa and the girls is horrible to watch. It really is. I know. That was really sad. Broke my heart when you kept pulling Joe away. I know. Guys. I know. I just hope they can get counseling and work it out. Oh, for the sake of their kids, I hope they can work it out. Where's I going, guys? Oh, the whole Margaret Melissa thing. So Melissa is in return pissed at Margaret, but she can't show it to us guys, right? She has to keep up face because of the fact that if she's mad at Margaret, then it's going to corroborate everything that Laura Lee Jensen told Jennifer and Teresa about Melissa, right? So I think that Melissa's pissed at Margaret and she's just being fake nice to Margaret because she doesn't want her as an enemy. And she knows that she knows all of her deep dark secrets, right? So I'm sure that Margaret came to Melissa apologizing, telling her so sorry that Laura Lee repeated it, that she didn't tell Laura Lee everything. She probably told Melissa some bullshit story about how Laura found out, and it wasn't, Margaret telling her intentionally. Yes, it was, Margaret. Yes, it was. Originally, when we heard all of this, hold on. Camille said the scene between Jen and the new housewife where she tells Jen about the love therapy thing, that was a real human moment. Jen is so open and so vulnerable. Yes, it was. I loved that. You could tell Jennifer was like about to cry because it definitely hurt her heart. And again, this is like the aftermath of Margaret. And I think Jennifer does a great job of pointing that out. And I'm glad to see that producers put that in her she did a confessional. Jennifer did a confessional, and she said that the effect on her children that this has had is why she didn't want to ever say anything. So yeah, it's so sad. But back to Melissa. Now Melissa has done another podcast, right? I think that Joe was on the podcast. I haven't listened to it all yet, guys, but of course I will, and then I'll come on and let you guys know what's going on with her podcast and what she had to say after the episode. However, like I said, I wanted to point out some of the looks that we saw her giving Teresa and Louis and Gia. By the way, Teresa's daughters are so beautiful. Like, how do you have four gorgeous, beautiful children like that? Like, isn't there normally an ugly duckling? Like, one is like messed up always. There's like one. You can't have four perfect kids, can you? I guess, because her kids, like their skin, oh my gosh, Gia's skin is like gorgeous. They're like olive, beautiful Italian skin tone, like beautiful, beautiful. Even Joe's kids, like they have it too. It's crazy. They're like, they're boys, but they're beautiful. Also, we see Frank and Joe Gorga have sort of this moment where Frank is like, or Joe is like relaying how Frank's feelings are hurt, and they like hug. And I don't know. Joe Gorga told us that he is going to start using his words this season, that he understands now that he needs to use his words and not his hands and not yell. And so that we're going to get a different side of him. But do I believe that him and Frank hugging and Frank crying because he misses Dolores, I don't know if I really necessarily believe that. And again, how uncomfortable for your current girlfriend. Lisa Frank needs to man up. Like, I understand you miss the family dynamic. Is it the family dynamic, or is he like nervous that he's not going to be on the show anymore? I told you guys last year this was going to be an issue because he was Dolores's +1, and that's why Bravo producers went in and gave the husbands contracts, right? That way it guaranteed Frank time on the show, bring on your girlfriend, give us something, filler, whatever it is. Because he wasn't going to be a +1 to Dolores anymore if Dolores found someone that she wanted to date and that wanted to film. And it looks like Polly has no problem filming. I don't know if I love Dolores, but I don't know if I love Dolores around Polly. Like, she's a little like, are they annoying together? Is that just what couples are like when they're first in love? Is it me? I don't know. I just am not really digging it. And I agree, Lee. I think that has a lot to do with the show. Frank enjoyed filming. I think once he got in front of the camera, and he, people love him. People really love Frank. And why wouldn't they? He's a great person. I told you guys about he helped with the missing child case. So I mean, I'm glad that he has a contract. I would love to see Frank, keep coming to all of the events, bring Brittany. I don't know what we could really see between Rachel and Brittany, because I think we all are kind of on the border of how we feel about the new girls, if they're earning their spots or not, if they're just getting to know everyone. We don't really have a full opinion formed as it pertains to Rachel and Danielle. At least I don't. Rachel has pleasantly surprised me. And I think Danielle, sadly, might be like, I'm not as impressed as I thought I would be. I mean, she's funny. Her confessionals are definitely funny. She's definitely funny. So we'll give her that. But yeah, just keep your ears out. Like I told you guys, the word on the curb is the ladies are a little annoyed with her and her activities and you guys know what I'm talking about. I don't have to spell it out anymore, do I? Right? Okay. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna end this. I just wanted to hop on and say hi and go over New Jersey last night because you guys know that's my favorite. It's my expertise, right? Make sure that you guys are hitting that like button, please. It definitely makes a difference with my videos. Subscribe to my channel, turn your notifications on. I've been telling you guys that I have been bringing all of my tea to YouTube first, but I put it on Instagram and Twitter. So you're going to want to make sure that you have your notifications on because sometimes I don't do those videos live. I pre-record them so that I'm able to include the content and the tea that I'm giving you. So that's why you're going to want to make sure that you have your notifications on and you're subscribed so you're not missing that. I love evidence. I love tea. You guys know that I'm always sending pictures. Oh, hey, make it make sense. Sorry, we're about to leave. Maybe you just got here though. Danielle will go for a friend next week. Let's see. Camille, I have a feeling she will. I don't know. If Rachel comes for Jen after that heart to heart on the baseball field, I will rage. Yeah, that will be real shitty, Camille, if she does that. I don't think she will, though. I don't see Rachel really coming for anyone unless if they do something intentionally to her. And I think that her and Melissa have an alliance anyways, right? Because of the fact that we know there was some behind the scenes transactions that were taking place that were helping her to get interviews or to even potentially get on the show. We know that allegedly there was some tile given as payment to the Gorgas when they were building their new house in hopes of getting Rachel on the show. And then I showed you guys a couple of days ago, I gave you some really good tea and I gave you a really, really old photo of John and Joe. So Rachel's husband and Joe Gorga, like 2011 maybe is the photo. So you can check out my other videos for that. But it really corroborated not Melissa's story that her and Rachel are friends over their kids. It looks like more like John and Joe were friends 15 years ago, probably high school buddies or something like that. And Rachel is now married, has a couple of kids, probably wanted to get on the show. Maybe they ran into Joe and Melissa somewhere, who knows? But allegedly, there were some deals that went on behind the scenes. So I don't think that Melissa and Rachel are going to ever come for one another. And maybe they're not going to act like besties on the show. But however, behind the scenes, they definitely have an alliance. And Portia Williams did a video with Candace, I don't know, like a week ago. And she said, Portia Williams don't say stuff that's always very smart all the time, right? I mean, I'm not trying to say nothing or nothing, but like, hello, the Underground Railroad. Well, there's got to be a place for the train to come out. Like, Portia, Portia. Anyways, she'd made a great point about the housewives, though. She said, alliances will kill a franchise. Alliances will kill a franchise. And I 1,000% believe that. And so I think that if we're seeing like little alliances between Melissa and the new girl and yada, 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 it's not going to be great for the franchise or the viewers. So that's just my opinion. Camille says, I want Rachel to break her alliance with Melissa and go with Aydin and Danielle and Team Teresa. Completely agree with you, Camille. Like I said, I thought we were going to see Danielle take that position, but we sort of haven't yet. So maybe Danielle's going to be more of a friend to Jennifer than Teresa. I'm not sure. It's dropping hints leading to the blow up for the finale, you think? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I think because allegedly Danielle's the one who dropped the info at the finale. And I just don't think that maybe producers would have wanted that. But to me, it seems like producers would have wanted that a little bit more earlier in the season. But maybe this is producers' way of getting another year of great ratings because we know that New Jersey is being talked about nonstop. We're getting one episode a week, but we're talking about it 5 days a week. So they're getting ratings, they're getting the money, honey, trust me. So I think sometimes Bravo does this stuff intentionally to reel you in, and then you're stuck waiting, because now if the whole season ends with this rumor coming out and this huge explosive fight, you want to find out what happened, right? So what are you going to do? You're going to watch Teresa's wedding, and then you're going to watch the reunion, and then by that point you're going to be so invested. In a couple of months the new season will start and you'll be watching that. So Bravo knows what they're doing. They're basically upselling us to a 4-part reunion and a 3-part wedding series. That's what they're doing by the reeling us in, by having this rumor be exposed at the finale of the season, right? So Bravo, they're not stupid. But they're giving us a great season, so we can't complain, right? Guys, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, turn your notifications on, and stay posted for more today. Many more uploads coming. Make sure you put your comments and any topics or questions that you have. I love to answer them. Make sure that you check me out on Twitter and Instagram, HW Historian. Do you think the Gorgos will have another season? I think, yes. I think that this, because of how this is all going to happen at the finale, that's what's going to give them another season. But after that season, I don't think that I don't see it happening again after that, unless if there's like some sort of separation. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying that I think that if Melissa had to choose between Joe or the show, who do you guys think she would choose? The show. Melissa loves the show. Melissa cannot picture her life not being on the show. She would, just like the Real Housewives of Potomac sacrificed Chris Bassett, she would make Joe Gorga the sacrificial lamb. I promise. I'm going to be like Caroline and mark my words with my predictions. All right, guys. I hope you have a great Wednesday, and we'll talk soon. Bye.